guys. So we're going to close our discussion of assignment one with an additional topic that I want to talk about, and that is this is not required, by the way, for the assignment, but that is when your input file contains more than one line, like that, right? And then when your input file, so your expressions, they include parentheses. How to check whether or not the parentheses match, right? Parentheses also helpful when you need to specify the order in which operations have to be executed. Like execute what's in between parentheses, right? Again, the parentheses, and then these parentheses, right? And then subtract the values. So I already did, and I already went ahead and made the grammar, which is a slight modification on the grammar that you were looking at for your chapter 4 of your book. Okay, so see, it's broken up into two pieces. Okay, two modules, one module for the lecture and the module for the actual grammar and the structure of it. Okay, for the lecture, here's what we have: normal, addition, subtraction. So think of it as an extension on assignment one, right? So we have your decimals, your integers, your ID. Now, the difference here for the lectures is that the white spaces, they're not all tossed out, right? I only toss out white space that's not a new line. So if it's a new line, I'm going to consider that an event, and I can send that to my the listener, or I can have the visitor consider that as an event. You see? Now, the new line event. So here, so when you get to this point, okay, you can notify whoever is listening to you and say, okay, I hit new line, so you know here that's an instruction. That's not the instruction, that's another, right? So what we're doing really is we're developing a more complex programming language. And the instruction in the language is just assignment operations. And we're also allowing, lines that only contain, say, one decimal, like a line like that, okay, would be valid instruction in this language. Okay, let's not worry about it. Let's just worry about these assignment statements and then what else we can do with it. I'm gonna save. All right, so this is my program. This is your program in this language, and you're gonna have to use Antler, generate a parser for any file whose input is compliant with the grammar. And of course, you can develop your application on top of that parser and do whatever you need to do, right? Maybe your application needs to figure out what's the sum of A, B plus C, A, and B, and C, when the program is ends. Maybe application needs to figure out the value of A, B, and C at each program location. That's what I find out. Now, these are the rules for the grammar. Okay, it's almost like the ones that we had before, right? Just add things, one little bit at a time for us to just focus on what we need to focus on. So major difference here is that we have stat4. So your program really is one or more statements. That's what the plus sign means. Plus sign means one or more. It's one or more statements. What is a statement? Could be an expression followed by a new line. Remember now, new line is a token, right? So it's an event. It could be an expression followed by a new line. And again, here, see, we're naming our alternatives for each role. Okay, so that methods will be created for us when we visit the tree. Statement could be an assignment statement. We can allow the empty statement, by the way. So if it's just a new line, it's going to be acceptable. The parser will accept your source code. If you have, say, see a blank down here, okay, it's going to be accepted. Now, save. Now, the other part that's new is these parentheses. So we say an expression could be plus or minus, right? Expression could be just an identifier. Expression could be decimal, but expression could also be an expression surrounded with parentheses. And remember, this is recursive, right? So even this expression itself could be surrounded with parentheses. You see? Or one of these expressions right here, right, could turn into an expression surrounded with parentheses, right? So just this one line will enforce that we have a properly nested program, right? That our parser only recognizes the properly nested expressions, right? So let's take a look at it. So real quick, I mean, this video is going to be really fast compared to the other ones. We're not going to do any Java code. I'm just going to go over this particular grammar. So only two things you have to remember: how to do a multi-line program, right? By using new line as a new token, and your program reads the sequence of statements, right? And yeah, and how to update your Alexa roles to account for that. Now here, go on to my grammar. Yeah, I already compiled it. Let me see. Already made my files. Yeah, I already made my executables. Now, let me actually do the grammar on this input file. Going. Let's see, why not? Oh, I didn't compile it. Let me compile it. Yeah, compile it first. And yeah, run. There you go. See? So that's the my parse tree for this particular expression. All right, as you see, as you may have seen, see there is the parentheses, how they handled. See these two expressions. Okay, and then you subtract the second from the first. Then you have another statement, another statement, another statement. See, this one is the blank line because we have a blank line at the end. Right? Okay, so feel free to play around with it as an exercise. So try to write a language application, like a language app. Okay, that will tell us the value of A plus B plus C at the end. You can also write a language app, but for this other app, you're going to have to figure out how to deal with this expression that assign identifiers to identifiers. Like if you have a statement like, let me see, D equals A minus C. Okay, so you might have to increment your grammar to recognize these kinds of instructions, right? And then tell you the value of D at the end of the value of D at the end of this program. All right, hope this helps. Okay, so keep in mind, because for future programs, okay, we'll be doing that. We'll definitely be using multi-line input files, and we'll be doing parentheses to force the order in which code fragments get evaluated. Code fragments such as addition, operation, subtraction, or even code fragments like, the body of for loop or the body of while loop and things like that. But it's always helpful to start with examples such as these ones, which are approachable to most of us. Okay, all right. See you.